Peace, man. Today we're going to talk about how to stop bad eating. Now, although the word bad is a very relative word, I'm sure everybody out there who wants to do better at healthier eating can relate to the word bad in reference to how they're eating now in comparison to how they want to eat. Most of us eat a lot of sugar. That's the number one issue, and we are aware of the culprit foods: breads, pancakes, and sausage bathed in syrup, with a heap of butter, hot dogs wrapped in sugar flour, washed down with soda, which is usually not just one, but two different types of sugar. One which is, of course, regular sugar, which is stripped of its natural minerals by a process called bone char. And this is where they take animal bones, mostly cow bones, and burn them to a charcoal brisket. And then they force the sugar through the burnt bones to strip the color and the minerals. And this is supposed to be a dying practice, but if you stick with unprocessed sugar, you won't have to deal with whether that's true or not. Now, the animal bones would appear to pass microbes through to the sugar. And I say that not because they say it necessarily, but because the skull and the spine of the cows are not used because of the fear of spreading mad cow's disease. That's why they don't use the skull and the spine when they form these charcoal briquettes that they do the bone charring with, or they strip the sugar with. Also, in some sodas, um, they have high fructose corn syrup, which is basically super sugar. And if you've seen my earlier videos, I show where high fructose corn syrup is deemed to be an obesogen, which is a product that promotes fat gain specifically, as well as high blood sugar. Now, the quote from Wikipedia is, "Obesogens are foreign chemical compounds that disrupt normal development and balance of lipid metabolism. In some cases, can lead to obesity. Obesogens may be functionally defined as chemicals that inappropriately alter lipid homeostasis and fat storage, change metabolic set points, disrupt energy balance, or modify the regulation of appetite and satiety to promote fat accumulation and obesity." So they basically change the way your body processes and stores fat. Now, white breads are stripped of any fibrous element, which makes them highly refined and high glycemic, even above white sugar. White sugar's glycemic index averages about 64 to 66, and white bread's glycemic index averages 69 to 71 on the glycemic scale. Now, if you don't know what the glycemic scale is, you need to learn if you're going to take control of your eating. One of the reasons white products are so insulin spiking is because they are unnaturally stripped of the fiber content, which works in nature to slow down the absorption of the starch component. And we see here that the fibrous parts of carbohydrates are actually resistant to digestion. So if you eat a soluble, what's called a soluble fiber, it slows down digestion by forming a gel-like substance that coats the intestines and makes sugar absorption slower than if the sugar were not blocked by the gel. If you eat insoluble fiber, the body doesn't break it down all the way to access all the sugars, and the sugars that it does get from the fibrous carb is leaked out very slowly. Again, it slows or prevents any insulin spikes from a large release of sugar. So we see that low glycemic carbs with fiber keeps insulin levels low or normal. I still recommend cutting most starchy carbs out after 6 or 7, the general exception being if you work out at night, and even then I would still stick with low glycemic carbs. You can go to the link below and get what I think is a very easy to understand guide on the glycemic index. Now, some important things you can do to curb your cravings also is to maximize your kitchen time. When you're in your kitchen preparing your first meal, make the meal you're going to have after that. So let's say you're having a bowl of steel-cut oats or spelt, and your next meal is going to be a chicken salad or a tempeh salad. Then you cut your lettuce, your tomatoes, your nuts, and your tempeh, and any other ingredients while you're eating your oats. You cut the ingredients for your next meal. That way, when it's mealtime, your low glycemic meal is halfway prepared. I pre-chop my celery, dried berries, and even pre-measure my hemp for my celery salads. When it's time to eat, I just toss everything in a bowl, add dressing, and get to it. And this stops you from grabbing garbage for the lack of time or for being in a rush and not wanting to prepare a full meal. Another thing you can do is add shakes to your regimen. Now, when you feel rushed and you don't want to prepare anything, a shake can really come in handy. I have several recipes on my site, but you can Google 10 or 20 recipes right off the jump. Now, you may have to do a little tailoring, but that comes with the territory. I even make my shake preparations easy by having my main ingredients pre-measured in my special little sectional cups. I have my powder in the base, stevia in the top, and my frozen fruit ready to pour and mix. I simply add my coconut water, my cashew butter, ice, and I'm ready to go. Also, eat easy to make but fibrous meals. Fiber fills you up. Quinoa, spelt, amaranth, celery, asparagus, walnuts, avocados, broccoli, yams, pistachios, salmon, buckwheat. These are all foods that will keep you feeling full with relatively small amounts eaten. And when you combine them, they work even better. And it's best to have them around 5 or 6 to carry you through to bedtime to avoid late night snacking, which is our next strategy. If you have snack attacks late at night, peanut butter and unsweetened coconut flakes can save you. Or you can put pure unsweetened cacao nibs in the peanut butter as well. Popcorn also works to kill cravings, which is filling but low in calories by comparison, in terms of what you eat. Another trick I use very sparingly, and this is when I've slipped basically during the whole day and I'm too busy to eat, and I usually wait until 7 or 8 at night before I realize I haven't eaten. By that time I'm ravenous, so to stop myself from basically eating a whole pizza and a gallon of Coke, what I do is I make a cup of organic coffee. I put it in a blender with a few walnuts, stevia, and a pinch of cinnamon. Now I have to warn you that coffee doesn't particularly taste good with stevia. That's one of the drinks that I haven't yet found a good stevia mix with, so I use a pinch of cinnamon to give it a more spicy or sweet taste. And this is a beautiful food hack. And after that, I'm good with either a kind bar or a small salad or something like that. Okay. Last but not any less powerful than any of the aforementioned is you need a support system. Now this could be compiling a lineup of healthy videos, consulting with people you know who are health fanatics or into health. And also here's one. Investigate your own ailment. Dedicate 30 minutes a day and find out how your ailment is linked to your intake. And I'm talking about minor ailments. So for example, let's say you have a little acne. Do some research to find out what foods may cause acne. And doing this, you'll find out a lot of information, and that information will encourage you to stop the bad eating habits. Dedicate 30 minutes a day to building your body or bodybuilding. Now this is not necessarily exercise. This can be study, it can be exercise, it can be reading up on healthy recipes. All those things qualify as bodybuilding. Place a sticky note in a place where you look every day and you write something encouraging. Something as concise and as encouraging as you can think of. And I don't care if it nags you or if you don't pay attention to it. Never take it down. If you have friends that you've been avoiding because you think they're too anal about eating, start talking to them about food. If they get too pushy for your novice level, just let them know that you're taking baby steps. I hope this helps. Peace. If this information has helped you in any way, or you found it valuable, don't hesitate to subscribe. Also, for consultations, go to lessons101store.com, navigate down to the health consultations link, and from there it will take you to our health library page where you can receive a consultation.